My name is Philip Rost. I lead the marketing and strategy function for GE HealthCare's enterprise imaging business.
It's great to have a chat here, Simon, and I kind of just knew you were going to be at HIMSS Europe. I don't know, it was a vibe. I think of European region and what's happening, and Simon needs to be in amongst it. So that's I'm going to set that scene here for this conversation. But for those unfamiliar, tell us a bit about the work you're doing with GE, and particularly in the European region.
I mean, look, at the end, what we believe in GE is that you have to help our partners, which are mainly healthcare enterprises, to marry three things. Smart devices, right? That's our heritage. That's where we are coming from. And the second one is disease areas. So entire end-to-end processes when it comes to, for example, oncology, cardiology, neurology. And the third big one is digital or digitization. So if you are able to bring these things together as a healthcare player, that's where we believe you have a bright future. And that's where the business where I'm part of, the enterprise imaging business, is right in the center. Because our job is to, at the end, bring these data points together, which are right now basically in many silos, in siloed systems, then apply intelligence to enable precision monitoring, precision therapeutics, and precision diagnostics. That's what we do.
Got you. And I think of GE, or someone might think of GE in healthcare, and depending in the work you're doing, you might think of big machines and devices and the medtech side of things, but a lot of what you're saying kind of fits more in that digital health bucket. Talk to me a little bit more about that balance between the device side and the digital side, and what's important there.
Look, our heritage is medtech. So we are 125 years as GE existent. So that's when we have been a startup, like 125 years ago. And the device side is where we are coming from. And we started mainly to ingest first intelligence into these devices. So putting algorithms on the device to help you to either do things faster, to see and diagnose more, or to have better quality of what you do. So we have been quite successful in doing that. Right now we have around 80 FDA-approved algorithms on device, which is industry leading. There are thousands out there in total. And now, that's what we did since 2014. Right now we are focusing more on basically putting intelligence or harnessing data and putting intelligence into these entire care pathways, right? So in cardiology, end-to-end, looking to the workflow, where can digital tools help to either free up time for the healthcare professional to get more accurate results, or to automate things that are right now not value add if you spend them as a human being. In the future, then, we are going to look into actually putting intelligence into the entire enterprise. Command centers are a big play there, for example.
Yeah, interesting, because I think about, I don't know what healthcare was like 125 years ago, but that transition over time and moving with the ecosystem. But I imagine, what that workflow looks like will always, then determine what the solution will do, what the product will do. You're talking about things that are, more and more bringing digital into the workflow, and a lot of organizations talk about, we need to undergo a digital transformation, but sometimes when we talk about a digital transformation, that can sound a bit nebulous or a bit like kind of high level. For you, what does a digital transformation mean within a hospital or a healthcare setting?
I mean, it's putting data to work for people, not vice versa. That's what sometimes we did with technology, is we added complexity with the idea to take complexity out. It sounds maybe controversial, but digital transformation is not only about the technology, right? It's more about the change management process, and it's a lot about training and also increasing the digital literacy of healthcare professionals, right? So what I think basically digital transformation should do, it should focus on the workflow and automate certain tasks which are not value add for that the person is doing right now, and freeing up time for healthcare professionals that they can spend this time with patients at the end, where they add most value. At the end, it's what I said in the first statement as well. It is unlocking these data silos and then bringing the data together putting it in a shape that you can work with it,
Yeah.
apply intelligence to generate insights, and then bring these insights back to the healthcare professional wherever he or she needs it in the workflow.
Yeah. Well, I think about, this blend between the device and digital world in my previous healthcare lives, in clinical environments where there might be a machine or a diagnostic tool. It would sit within a outpatient clinician's room, and it's kind of like they'd go onto the practice management system on the computer, but then they'd have to go over to the other side of the room to the device, and literally islands of information would be living on these two things, and maybe they could put a USB drive in and bring it over, like some kind of hacky way to bring things together. But like you were saying, you don't want these silos of information. That's obviously not going to work in a larger healthcare setting within a single environment, let alone in a whole system. I think this falls into the bucket of interoperability and all of that. So I imagine that's very front of mind in how GE's thinking is how to make all these bits and pieces more interoperable.
It is. Interoperability and vendor neutral as well. I think you need open standards. That's a big one. You need better data governance to get to this interoperability. And then you need a mindset shift at the end as well, right? Because what we did many times is we create a technology, and then you put the next technology on top, and you create this kind of Frankenstein, which is not working, right? And that's where I believe open standards, data governance, and at the end this mindset shift play a crucial role to achieve that.
Yeah.
And it's an evergreen. I mean, you heard it here. In every HIMSS I'm going to, you have the, let's say, more hot topics. Like right now, it's likely ambient AI or AI agents.
Yes.
You have always cloud as a big topic.
Yep.
And last but not least, since I'm going to these conferences, interoperability has been one of the evergreens, which we maybe still didn't solve. So I would root for saying, hey, solving the interoperability challenge should be the innovation of our decade.
Yeah, I agree. Check out what we're doing in Australia, by the way. There's some cool stuff in the interoperability side. Plug for Australia. Anyway, so they definitely haven't solved it with a lot of progress. So you mentioned cloud. I understand that's a priority at the moment for GE as well. Is that right?
As well, yeah. I mean, earlier this year at HIMSS in Las Vegas, we launched our Genesis cloud portfolio. Look, cloud will help to accelerate digitization in healthcare, right? There are many advantages of cloud. You have always the newest version. Basically, you don't have the CapEx investment up front, right? You can put the cost over various over time period. But one clear need we see right now, and that's an unfortunate one, is we have more and more cyber attacks, right? And that's something where cloud can help you to increase also security. We work together with our partner AWS there since a decade. But yeah, I think cloud will help to democratize at the end software in the healthcare business and accelerate digitalization.
Yeah, I agree. Lastly, then, there's a good. I've met with a lot of attendees here at HIMSS Europe, some clinical, some in that transformation side, and the vendor community, all at different kind of stages of looking to do things in different countries around the region and globally. What would you hope that attendees take away as kind of something to implement back in their system? Or is there any kind of key advice that you would give to people looking to undertake a digital transformation or really make an impact utilizing some of the technology that we've been talking about?
I think 3 points are worthwhile mentioning here. The first one is start with your people and the workflow and the problem, right? We hear a lot of technology first, digital first, AI first, cloud first. For me, it's problem first. So have a use case that focuses actually on a problem that you want to solve. Second thing is think more of platform, less point-to-point solution. You likely don't always need the best-of-breed solutions. Think more in a platform because it brings your integration efforts down, a big one, and that you can scale faster. And then a very important one, which in our industry is not the normal mindset, I would say, but is start small, but start, right? And don't focus on perfection, because that's many time what I see in these initiatives, that you want to have the perfect plan laid out. But I'm a believer in starting small. If you fail, adapt, right? And then building this momentum that this transformation is actually sustainable. These are the 3 points I would mention.